Perfect.
Cursed be the ground for our sake, both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for us. For out of the ground we were taken for the dust that we are, and to the dust we shall return. The Dust Podcast features people who have had life-changing experiences. Here they share their stories and testimonials about how God can move and change a person's life. Welcome to the From the Dust Podcast. Take a listen. Open your hearts and ears. Here's your host, James Science.
The children of God.
Hello, and welcome back to From the Dust Podcast. I'm your host, James Science, and whatever you are, whatever you're doing, hope you are highly favored and highly blessed. If you have a testimony story you would like to share, go ahead and hit me up at From the Dust Podcast at Outlook.com. That's From the Dust Podcast at Outlook.com. Voices need to be heard, stories need to be told. Well, today, man, do I got a story for you. You heard MC Spain, you hear Mars Herrera, and today's story is why I'm doing what I'm doing. My guest, he grew up to see death at a young age, grew up a star athlete, championship wrestler, undefeated in football, but he hung out with the wrong crowd, man, and that led to a spiral down. And he's here to share his story and testimony of how he's on top and went to the bottom and back for the bottom, back to the top. Please welcome my guest, Adolf Ray G. What's up, man? How you doing?
All right. What's happening, James? Just blessed to be right here doing this with you,
Best to have you, bro.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Like, when I first met you, you seemed like a tough person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what got me intrigued with your story was, we know each other because we know each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever. But, I seen you interacting with your daughter.
Yeah.
And, bro, when I seen you were singing with her and joyful, I said, man, this dude, he's legit. He really loves his daughter. And I was told, hey, this guy wasn't always like that, I said, what do you
Oh, yeah.
like
Wow.
that, He's he was bad. So that got me thinking, if he's who I see he is today, who was he then? I gotta know this guy. I gotta know his story. I gotta know what he's doing. I got a little bit of your story, and I was captivated, man. I needed to learn more.
Right. Amen. Thank you, man. I'm here for you. And anybody else.
Man, let's get into it. I don't want to give too much away of what you wrote to me, because it gets pretty deep for my last episode. So my last episodes are just people that already knew God,
Right.
But you had to experience that stuff to learn it.
Right.
So let's get to where you're from, where you grew up, man.
Well, I'm from Tulare, family of 4, couple brothers, one brother, 2 sisters, grew up highly involved in sports, junior high wrestling. I started wrestling when I was probably 6 or 7 years old. My dad got me in wrestling, and did wrestling all the way through my high school years. Football, undefeated in football, Valley champs. It's like I was always on a winning team, whether it was me by myself winning wrestling matches or on a winning football team all the time. I was always on that winning team, and I always felt like a star. You know what I mean? So yeah, my childhood was pretty good because I was around a lot of athletes and coaches and positive role models. People highly involved in sports and that wanted to do stuff with themselves. You know what I mean? So I was blessed for that. But yeah, that's kind of how I was in sports, you know. And then I kind of started hanging out with some wrong people, you know, in
Yeah,
junior high. Started hanging out with some wrong people, wrong crowds, you know, and started drinking a little bit in junior high, you know, dipping and dabbing here and there,
experimenting.
partying, yeah, partying a little bit here and there, you know what I mean? Um, went into high school, playing sports and still hanging out with the wrong crowd, you know what I mean? Lot due to me hanging out with the wrong crowd, I started getting into a lot of fights, started getting kicked out from school. I mean, and at the same time, I'm going back to school and trying to juggle sports and juggle my education and juggle hanging out with these guys at the same time, you know. So it got kind of crazy for a while, you know. But yeah, I did that and started getting expelled from school and you know, and I just kept hanging out with this crew, these guys, you know what I mean? And anyways, hung out with them for a while. Before you know it, you know what I'm saying? I'm just partying, just ditching school and partying. You know what I'm saying? And my sports was already out the door, out the window. My grade point average was down. You know what I mean? I was already ditching school. So yeah, it was. I went from all kinds. From I went from playing sports star at all my sports to just slowly spiraling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that and in your messages, you mentioned that you had 9 uncles.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's right. So like as a kid, also, I remember it was like back then. It was like normal to see all my family and all my uncles all coming over, and everything we did, they did it drinking. You know what I mean? Celebrating. You know what I'm saying?
Doing it up. Yeah,
And
yeah, I know how it is.
yeah, man, and I had all my uncles, and they would all come together. My dad had 9 brothers, you know what I'm saying? My mom had, X amount of brothers also, you know what I'm saying? And they were coming over also, some of them. So, I mean, it turned into normality for me to see all this drinking and everything that they did and everything we celebrated doing was drinking, you know what I mean? I hadn't realized, you know, that this was alcoholism, you know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing all this, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing my uncles partying and drinking. I'm doing my sports, hanging out with this crowd, you know? And and so my first uncle, back then I don't think my grandma knew what cirrhosis of the liver was, you know what I'm saying? Because he was complaining about stomach pains and stuff, and they didn't know back then what cirrhosis was. He was taking Rolaids. I remember my dad telling me, oh, well, he ends up passing away from cirrhosis of the liver. You know what I mean? Um, and it kept on the partying and everything, and I lost another uncle. Before you know it, I lost another uncle, and I'm still like junior high, if not middle, before junior high. You know what I mean? Fifth, fourth grade, third grade. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And lost a few uncles, lost another one. Before you know it, out of 9 uncles, out of 9 uncles on my dad's side, 7 of them passed away, all from cirrhosis of the liver, and my grandpa,
Wow.
all from cirrhosis of the liver. You know what I mean? And I can remember going to their funerals. You know what I mean? At a young age, and seeing this. You know what I mean? And it, I don't know. It just to me, it was just normal to see this. You know what I mean? But the death part, it was like it didn't set right with me. You know what I'm saying? So I seen a lot of that at a very, very young age. You know what I mean? So yeah,
So pretty much your family had a problem with alcoholism, right?
yeah,
Did,
yeah.
did that affect you growing up? Did you have a problem with that?
No, I don't think I did. I don't think I did until like probably junior high. And then I started kind of drinking, you know. But I didn't have a problem with it with them drinking, you know, because we were kids and we were just having fun at the house with their kids, my cousins. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
So it was always just a big celebration. And these guys, my dad and their uncles, my uncles, and they were putting away cases. You know what I'm saying? they'd run out of beer and pass the hat around and start throwing money in it to go get more beer. I mean, and I think maybe the alcohol back then might have been a little bit stronger or something because I lost some uncles at a young age. They were like 30 something years old. I think my youngest uncle passed away at 20 something from just drinking. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But yeah, I didn't have a problem with it then at that age. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I was just a kid playing with my cousins while my uncles were enjoying themselves. So it was just a big party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I remember reading Experiencing Death. You had a friend, something that passed away that you've actually seen?
Right. Well, yeah. Well, let me see. We were in freshmen. We were freshmen in high school, and I had already started kind of hanging out with this wrong crowd, you know. And I remember we did school. There was like 8 of us guys, you know what I mean? And we did school, and then it was like 4 or 5 girls that did school with us, you know. We went to my buddy's pad and we were drinking and just chilling, you know what I'm saying? High school, freshman, partying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Get to school, just trying to have fun, you know what I'm saying? Like
It was fun
kids, like,
living it up.
yeah, living it
Teenagers,
up,
bro.
right?
I
Yeah,
had my share, bro. I had my share before.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we were hanging out, man, you know what I mean? And um, we were hanging out at my buddy's pad and we were all outside, right? Well, a car drives by, man, and throws out some slurs at us, you know what I mean? And turns around. I remember him turning around up the road. I can remember the street and everything. I can remember everything real vivid. I mean, so he flips around, man, and he comes around back around, and and he opens fire on us, you know, with 12 gauge shotgun, and and it was kind of vicious. He opened fire on us with a 12 gauge shotgun, and we kind of all just and ducked and kind of ran as low as we could. You know what I mean? Well, there was a girl that had ditched school with us that day, and she was sitting up on a driveway, like up on top of the ledge, you know, and she didn't have a chance, bro. That shotgun hit her right in the face, you know, and it was just, it was a horrific scene, you know, kind of like, I just remember seeing her face explode. You know, imagine the shotgun just boom, and there, I just seen it explode red, and she just like lifelessly just went all the way to the dirt. She kind of bounced when her face hit the dirt, you know. And I remember seeing that, you know, and it was crazy. She laid out there. Her parents were at the coast, so she had to lay out there until her family was notified and came back to identify her body. You know what I mean? And it was just horrific. And all that did to me kind of was like next day at school, like it just made me, I don't know, it made me, every time something like that would happen, it kind of made me rebel more. You know what I mean? Like I thought I was tougher because an incident like that happened. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sad to say, you know what I'm saying? But hey, they shot at us. You know what I mean? Like it just made me feel more rebellious and tougher. Now I think about it, I'm like, what a dumb guy I was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
How young I was. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was that experience.
But that taking place with you say well we talked about you know going to a spiral. It was what what led up into what led up into your darkest days. I know I heard that you were on drugs. Am I correct?
Yes. Oh yeah. The darkest days. Oh my gosh. Um, gosh, I got really strung out on crystal meth, you know, partying and stuff. And somebody introduced crystal meth to me, and oh man, I thought that was everything. You know what I mean? I kind of like fell in love with it. You know what I mean? And gosh, I had a lot of years with that. You know, crystal meth, and dropped out of school, and uh, all kinds of stuff, man. I picked up some charges, gun charges, and ended up going to prison in '99. Went from prison in and out. Once I started going to prison, I would get out only to use. I would get out only to use more drugs and party more. You know what I mean? And right back in. It was a cycle. And it was a cycle that honestly I didn't think was ever going to stop. I never dreamed of seeing the day where I was going to stop, because I would always be like, I want to always be like this. I'm going to always get this like this. You know what I mean? Or I never thought of it. I never dreamed of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, in and out of prison, like from 1999 to 2010, get in, come out, party. You know what I mean? Party with girls, do drugs, think I was the man. You know what I'm saying? Always chasing an imaginary dream that never never even happened. You know what I'm saying? It was just never even gonna happen. You know, but I was just blinded, man.
Tell us. We haven't heard anybody really experience like prison, you know, like
Right.
because like we were talking to a homeboy from New York, and he just did a couple of days, you know, just
Yeah.
graffiti, you know. But
Right.
I want people to know real life, bro, real prison.
Right.
This podcast is about everything, real life story, real.
Right.
So if you want, if you're comfortable,
Right.
no,
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
Man.
Well, my first stretch in prison, man, I was scared. You know what I'm saying? I was real scared, man. I remember I was scared, man. And you kind of get off the bus, and they kind of just strip you of everything, literally, even your clothes. You know, you get off the bus and they strip you down. You know what I mean? And march you in and do this and do that, and they take you in and put you in a little cell, man, and you meet your cellie that you're gonna live with for the next who knows how long, until you go to the next prison. You know, no phone calls when you get into the reception centers, no phone calls to your families, no. So it's really sad, and it's really dark and sad place where people actually, just like myself, where people actually start to get comfortable there. You know what I mean? It's called institutionalized. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just like me, I would go in and out, and it got to the point to where one time I got there, and I felt like everything felt like I'm home. You know what I mean? And I was okay with being there.
You got comfortable.
You know? Yeah, I got comfortable. I believe I got institutionalized. You know? I mean, because a person can do it. People do it. There are people in there like that. I mean, they give you. I mean, it's bad, but it's not bad. They give you your store. They give you everything you need. You know what I'm saying? It's not punishment. You know, it is, because you're away from your family and there's all the things that you love and stuff. But it's just, at the same time, it's not really punishment. You know what I mean? But so yeah, it wasn't a place to get comfortable, but I did. You know, fights, people getting cut right in front of you. You know what I mean? You're not, somebody gets cut in front of you, you're walking to the breakfast chow hall in a straight line, and somebody falls down, you just keep on walking, you know what I mean? You keep on walking, man, and don't turn around. You didn't see anything, you know what I'm saying? So that stuff really happens, man, in prison, in real life, you know? And I've seen a lot of it. I was on some couple of yards that they were rocking all day long, man, from the time you started walking the chow until the time you lay down your head, man. It was get down on the ground, get down on the ground, get on the ground, you know? So, yeah, it's not a really fun place to be, you know? But like I said, I did so much of it, man. I got real comfortable with it. And I'm glad I got broken to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I never really been in trouble, but
yeah,
I joke around with the story. I should share a little bit about myself too, you know.
Yeah.
I never like. Well, I say I've never been to prison, but I've been to a prison.
Yeah.
There's a time in my life I'll tell you, I was just being a knucklehead, you know.
Yeah.
And, the only thing I ever got arrested for was vandalism. You know, I was trying to show off. I should have mentioned this when I was talking to a homeboy from New York, but I was trying to show off in front of a girl, so I was tagging, but I got caught. But the other time,
Tagging.
I was trying to be a little Mac, trying to show off.
Yeah.
And I got, but not busted, but I got arrested for that. Took me home in handcuffs, which is embarrassing because for some reason the cop knew who I was. I didn't need to tell him where I lived or none of that stuff. He put me in the cop car and right to my pad, dog.
Wow.
And I guess the second time, my homeboy he had a G ride. So we're just little youngsters, bro, trying to be cool, We're rolling around in a stolen car doing donuts in the lowest parking lot.
Joyriding.
Yeah, joyriding in a cops come. He don't pull over, bro. He keeps going. So we get in a little chase and cops everywhere, boom, busted. But so I guess my dad being a pastor, he wanted trying to scare me, teach me lessons. So this is before Scared Straight even was a thing, bro.
Right.
So they send a group of kids and scare them to Corcoran prison.
Right.
We get there, we get there, bro, and they do all the stuff they do in the TV show. I'll take you to the yard, and when the homies, hey, where you guys from? And one of the homies that was from with us, he's I wouldn't say the hood and stuff, but it was a city in the San Fernando Valley. He goes, we're from the San Fernando Valley. Oh yeah, so this dude starts calling out, hey, blah blah blah, this guy.
Yeah.
A whole group of guys come up and we're like, man, this is it. They're gonna cuss at us, yell at us. And I see a dude, he sticks his head out at the group and he says, I know that guy right there. I'm just
it never fails.
Yeah, and I know that guy. He's pointing at me and he goes, that's my nephew. I'm like, I don't know this dude right here. But he ended up being a father and a husband of a family. Went to my dad's church.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what made it real is because I know you, I know your family. But we're making fun. Hey, who's coming in? We're chopping up, being friendly. But then it got real. It's like you come in here. I'm not gonna be your friend. You're gonna be a soldier. You're gonna soldier up.
Yeah.
We tell you. And I was like, I don't want any of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was little things like that. Nah, prison's not for me.
Yeah.
So I learned pretty quick that I probably wouldn't even make it. You know what I mean? I probably be some little girl or something. To be honest, you gotta be real.
Yeah.
And
sometimes you gotta just once you're busted and you're there, you don't got no choice but to make. You know what I mean? Make it through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
So how far and how dependent were you on the drugs?
Oh man. Well, I was gosh, put it this way. I would steal, rob. By the time I was in full force, I would steal, rob, hurt from my family, steal from my family, with no regards on how anybody else felt. You know what I mean? Except for myself. As long as I knew that I was going to be able to go get high with whatever I came up with, you know what I mean? I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? That I stole this from my mom or that I robbed this person for this. You know what I mean? The only money that they had, or you know what I mean? I had no regards for anybody else except for myself. You know what I mean? So I became real dependent on it. You know what I mean? And I had to have a way to support it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I mean, yeah. So I did it. I did everything under the sun, man. And I would pull some good fast ones on people too, man. You know what I mean? Like, wow, it's just, yeah, I was really, really, really dependent on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shoot, I was, I think 20 years old. I got in a car accident. I was 20 years old, right? And went to the hospital. And the doctors told my mom and my dad and my parents that I had so much, at 20 years old already, that I had so much cocaine around my heart that it was playing Russian roulette, but with 5 bullets in the gun. You know what I'm saying? And at that age, that was at 20 years old. And at that age, I still didn't stop. You know what I mean? Like that was the first real, hey boy, I'm trying to tell you something. You know what I mean? and I kept going and I didn't stop. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was really bad on it. You know what I mean?
I don't talk about this much.
Yeah.
So I guess if I'm gonna have real people here, and I gotta be real myself, there was a time in my life not too long ago that I started experimenting with it, and right, I did it because so I said, hey, you try this, you won't feel this way, you won't feel that way, and when I did it,
Oh yeah.
I felt like, bro, I felt like
Yeah.
I was on top of the world. I wasn't hurting, I wasn't depressed, bro. And I sure was
Right.
for some reason in a weird happy mood.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I was just doing it once every so often. And then I started drinking way more than I used to, because I used to just drink on my birthday, bro, once a
Right.
year. And then I just, like yourself, I got caught up with the wrong crowd, and I'd have to admit it because it became a habit. And
Right.
for me, the day that turned that around was I was dead asleep. I was dead asleep, and I could have swore I heard someone whisper in my ear.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
each time the whisper got louder and louder until the last time it was James.
Yeah.
It woke me up, bro, and I looked in the mirror, and the look that I had in my eyes, the look at my face, I couldn't recognize myself. I didn't
Wow.
know who I was, bro. And I guess that was God's way of showing me, hey, you know what, better straighten up, boy.
Yeah.
That's why when we'll talk about how you kicked it, but I have a lot of admiration, bro, and a lot of love for people who can overcome it and can do it, because I had an older brother. He used meth and heroin, and he got to a point where he did so much that he got sick, bro. And one day that was it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And for you, we're talking about, for you to be able to kick that, bro, that takes,
Yeah.
it takes a lot. You also mentioned a couple more things you've seen death with.
Yeah, one of my a couple um yeah, one of my buddies, man. Same guys I was hanging out with. Same crew, man. I remember getting a text message. Cell phones weren't in then, you know what I mean? Cell phones were barely coming in. And I
What's
remember
your days
getting
on?
yeah. And I remember it was pager day. And I remember getting a text message with one of my buddy's numbers and 187, 187. So I was out in Joaquina somewhere partying or whatever. So I remember driving into town, man. And I remember driving into town, and I remember passing by my buddy's pad, and I remember seeing one of my best friends, you know what I'm saying, laying there on the front doorstep of my other partner's pad, you know what I mean? And we were all friends, you know what I mean? So I, he got gunned down, man. They blew his face off, blew his chest out, another with the shotgun also, you know what I mean? And it was all yellow taped, and his car was parked there with his door open, like he had just got out. And I looked and seen him just laying there on the doorstep, man. And sad thing is it was all of us. We were all boys, me and him and the other guy were the other guys that ended up smoking them. You know what I mean? And it was just because of that drug, man. It was just they tried to rob him, man, and he wasn't giving anything up. So it was a robbery gone bad. He wasn't giving anything up because I was his homeboy. He was probably like, "What are you doing, fool?" You know what I mean? Take that mask off. You know what I'm saying? And they were just so far gone on
Yeah,
that
friend,
evil
friend,
stuff, man.
friend, huh?
Yeah, that they ended up pulling the trigger. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I remember that real well. You know what I'm saying? Um, that was a pretty. That you know what? For some reason, I had a really hard time with his death, and I don't understand it. I don't know to this day. I don't know why. You know what I mean? And he was a guy that um, he was way older than us, and we would always in junior high. He was older. He was already out of school, right? And he used to drive around in this blue van, and he would park outside of my junior high school and wait for all of us thugs that were hanging out together to go jump in the van and go party. You know what I mean? So I remember my parents not liking him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think my family liked him, but they knew who he was. You know what I'm saying? And so he was the one that ended up dead. You know what I mean? From my buddies, from all of us, we were all friends. But yeah, I don't know why I had such a hard time with his death though. Well, I had a really hard time. It took me a long time to get over that one. So I guess the closer you are to people, or I don't know.
Yeah,
But
death can be a complicated thing. I remember one year in high school, I had maybe 6 or 7, literally, bro, 6 or 7 friends died. You know,
yeah,
people I went to junior high with, man. There was an instance where one of the homegirls, she was just in her car with a man because they're looking for a man. They shot the car. She died. You know.
yeah.
My my homie Michael, bro. We talked about him before. He was shot and killed in front of school, and I had a friend who OD'd off of heroin, bro, and he was only
Right.
16 years old, bro. Like,
Wow.
those 2 deaths were the deaths that seeing my homies in the casket, bro. That was
Yeah.
that was hard, man. You know,
Yeah.
so all the stuff
Yeah, it
you're
is.
doing, what effect did it have on your family, like physically wise, mentally wise, your relationship? What did that do?
Um, I was just really rebellious, you know? I was really rebellious and I don't think they had very much control over what I did because I was just gonna do whatever I was gonna do, you know what I mean? And yeah, so they didn't really have much of a they didn't really have much of a control over me. I was just wild, bro. Just crazy. It was
I've heard you would take off in the car and stuff like that.
yeah, we take off. I'd take off in the cars when they were sleeping at night. They'd hide their keys in their mattress or under their pillow. You know what I'm saying? I send my little sister in there to go sneak and grab the keys. You know what I'm saying? She was just a baby, but
Right.
yeah, it was horrible, bro. It was it was bad stuff, man.
Yeah, we,
But
we all we all do some crazy things, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, but yeah,
What what was
um,
what was the lowest point that you came to that you knew that you needed to do something different in your life before it was too late?
um, you know what? Um, I think it was about I was getting ready to discharge my last CDC number from prison, meaning all those years of being in and out of prison um, was all going to come to an end. All those years of having to report to a parole agent and submit to piss testing, it was all going to come to an end, you know. And I believe it was the second to last time that I paroled, and I got out, and I remember coming out, and for the first time, I uh, I didn't use drugs, and I wasn't hanging out with the fellas, you know, and I was spending time with my family. You know what I'm saying? And I can remember, um, gosh, I would if something would happen, and I would remember for some strange reason or another, like it would stay in my head. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't pinpoint how I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? And I was starting to feel. I don't know if I was getting anxious because after 10 years, I was going to finally discharge parole, and I was like, I'm going to be free. You know what I mean? And I don't know what it was, how I was feeling, but I couldn't pinpoint it. But there was stuff that was happening that it was happening, and I just couldn't explain. I would see something and it would stay in my head. You know what I mean? Why is this happening? You know what I mean? And certain stuff, you know what I mean? Like hanging out. I'm hanging out with my family and I'm dancing with my little cousin, stupid to music, and I recognized it. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, I'm getting along with my nephew or my niece, and we're dancing. You know what I mean? Or driving with my mom to the store. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Like I'm recognizing having a good time with my family. You know what I mean? And I remember just feeling a certain type of way. You know what I mean? That was I couldn't explain how I was feeling. I couldn't. Well, am I anxious or am I nervous or am there wasn't a word. I just knew that something was building up. You know what I mean? And it was building it, and I couldn't. It was just like it's hard to explain. So, anyways, I remember I did good with my family for like 2 weeks and hanging out and enjoying them and I mean stuff to remember, you know. And and I ended up going back out, right? I ended up going back out using drugs, partying, same stuff, I went back out numerous amount of times, but I remember this one because I went back out, stayed out for like a week partying, not sleeping, just partying, doing bad things. and and I remember coming home, you know what I mean? And I came home and I walked in the house and I hear my mom call me upstairs, So I remember like I was tired, bro. I was exhausted. I was tired. I was just burnt out. Um, I was feeling a lot of different ways, So I climbed upstairs, you know what I'm saying, and went up to my mom's room, man. And your mom's your mom, you know what I'm saying. Moms are always gonna know, man.
Yeah, they know
Just by
everything.
yeah, they're gonna
Yeah, I
know.
nothing from your mom's room.
Yeah, they're gonna know just by looking at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like moms know, man. And so and my mom's always been a praying woman. You know what I mean? Always been a praying woman, man. Praying for me, praying for my brothers and sisters, praying for you know what I mean? and so and so I remember going up there, man, and I remember turning into her bathroom and she's doing her hair and she looked at me through the rearview mirror, right? And she knew I had went back out. You know what I'm saying? And so I looked at her. She goes, "What are you doing, son?" And I'm all, "Oh, nothing." I mean, I'm just. She's all looks at me. She's all shakes her head like that, right? And I think at that point, I was just like, I can't believe I just went back out after being here with my family and seeing and enjoying, and 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 so she's all looks at me like that, right? And I remember that was probably the most bottomest. And so I remember the phone ringing, right? And the phone rang, and my mom has a friend also, right? Who she's a lifelong friend. She's always been like there with my mom, and she's a prayer too. You know what I mean? Her name was Glinda. You know what I'm saying? And so the phone rings, and like I said, I was burnt. I had dope in my pocket. Money in this pocket, dope in this pocket. Was I don't know how many girls that week. You know what I'm saying? Like smelling, just like. And I remember the phone rang. You know what I mean? The phone rang, and I looked at it, and it was my mom's friend. You know what I mean? And I'll get it, mom. You know what I'm saying? So I pick up the phone, right? And when I picked up the phone, Glenda's there, and she goes, "Hi, baby. How you doing, baby? Right?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right, Glenda, right?" And I'm still feeling that feeling, you know what I'm saying? That I can't explain what's going on with me, right? I can't explain it, man. And I'm all right, Glenda, you hear me? And I go, "How you doing?" You know what I'm saying? And she's a black woman, you know what I'm saying? So she's like, you know how they talk, some of them,
They got
right?
the soul, boy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the word I was looking for. She got that soul, you know what I'm saying?
right,
And she's all, oh, I'm blessed, baby. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all, and it was like, bro, honestly, it was like, I just went, whoa, you know what I mean? Because I felt like I took a little blow, you know what I'm saying? And I'm all, that's what I've been feeling. You know what I mean? After all these years in prison, I'm finally gonna be done with it. You know what I mean? I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed even that I did all those years in prison. You know why? Because had I been out here, I would have been dead, man. Because every time I went in there and somebody close to me would pass. A friend would die. Somebody get killed. You know what I mean? So I'm like, here I am getting ready to discharge after 10 years. You know what I mean? And she says over the phone, she says, "Oh, I'm blessed." Right. And I was just like, whoa, something's about to happen. You know what I mean? Something's about to go down. And I felt it. I felt the fire, you know what I mean, in here, man. And I'm all, whoa, I go, and my hands literally started shaking, you know what I mean? And I'm all, what did you say? And she goes, I said, I'm blessed, baby. And she goes, and you know what else? And then I said, what? She got that soul, right? I'm getting chills, bro. And she's got that soul, right?
man.
And she goes, and you know what else? And I go, what's that, Glenda? Right? And she goes, and I've been praying for you, baby.
Ooh.
Right? Ooh, right?
There it is, boy.
And I told, and I started shaking, you know what I mean, on the phone with the phone. And my mom's looking at me in the mirror, right? It was powerful, bro. I'm getting the chills talking about it. And she says, and I've been praying for you, baby. She goes, and you know what? She goes, and you need to just, and when she said it, I put my hand on my mom's shoulder like that. Well, my mom's looking at me through the mirror, and I'm behind her on the phone, right? And I put my hand on my mom's shoulder like that. And as soon as I put my mom's shoulder, my hand on my mom's shoulder like that, Glenda says, and you need to just let it go in the name of Jesus, let it go, right? Woo. Wow, bro. Like no feeling I've ever felt in my life. You know what I'm saying? It was like she opened up in the internet between the both of them, my mom and Glenda, right? It's like they opened up a straight shot internet, straight up, right? And it was just powerful, bro. Powerful, powerful, powerful. And you know how the Bible says that every head shall bow and every knee shall crack, you know? Well, I'll tell you what, man, it was so powerful. It was so powerful, bro, that I had no control of my knees. You know what I'm saying? I had no control of my knees. My knees were rubber. And I'm just like that, shaking. My knees are shaking, right? And I'm trying to hold myself up, and I crack. Boom. And I fell to the ground, bro. And my mom looks at me, and I started crying like a baby, like like I couldn't control it. You know what I'm saying? And I felt right there and then, I felt like I was done. You know what I'm saying? And I started telling my mom, I'm done, Mom. I'm done. I'm done, right? And I got the drugs that were in my pocket. I go, look, Mom. And I'm crying, and I threw it in the toilet, and I flushed it. I pulled all the money out. I said, I'm done. And I felt everything going out of me, bro, like my lust, my want for money, my addiction. Everything was flying out of me, bro. And it made me feel, yeah, as everything's flying out of me, it made me feel light. You know what I mean? Like it took all that heavy stuff off of me, man. And it took everything out of me. And all I can remember is wanting to feel how I felt. All I can remember is wanting that feeling that I was feeling. You know what I mean? And my mom looks, man, and my mom looks at me, and she grabs the phone, and she must have knew, like, it's two praying women, you know what I mean? And she tells Glenda, Glenda, I gotta go. It's happening.
It's
You know
happening,
what I'm
bro.
saying? Yeah, she said it's happening.
God
You know what I
used them
mean?
in prayer, bro. And
Right.
if anything, grandmas, bro, and the moms, they're praying women, bro. And
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes we know it, sometimes we don't, but they're praying for us, bro. And
Oh, yeah.
one day, I don't know where it just comes, bro. Holy
Yeah.
Ghost, and that's what that was. That
That's
interceding
what
prayer,
that
bro.
was, bro. It was just the most amazing, most beautiful. I felt, you know what I mean? I felt the power, you know what I mean? I felt it. And it's real, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's real,
Like,
man.
it's real, brother, because it took everything from me, everything out of me, and took it, you know?
Yeah,
And it was amazing. And I remember feeling, whoa, that's all I want. That's all I need. You know what I mean?
it's
And
that love, it's that love of God, bro.
yeah,
That
yeah,
what that is. It's that peace that surpasses understanding. Because sometimes you're feeling one day, bro, out of the blue, every hurt, every pain, every depression is just gone, bro. And
gone.
that's that love of God, bro. That's that peace
Yeah,
in her, man. And
yeah, that's that
they put it
power,
upon you.
man.
They gave it to you, bro.
Yeah, yeah, they did.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was really some really powerful stuff, man. It was good. I remember that. It was good.
So I mean, from there to now, what do you the person you were there in the past and the person you
Oh,
are now?
oh man. So the person that I was in the past, well, it brought me to who I am now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
And God is real. You know what I'm saying? Jesus is real, and um, I went back out, unfortunately, after that, man. And there's a verse in the Bible in Luke chapter 11 where it says that um, when the demon leaves the house, that it goes out, you know what I mean? And then comes back to the house only to find it swept and put back in order. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then it goes out and it brings back with it 7 more demons, more worse than the first. You know what I mean? And I believe that happened with me when I went back out right there, because it was that much harder when I went back out after that happened with me. It was that much harder to pull myself out, to get out of it. It's like everything was that much harder. You know what I mean? There was like 7 more demons there, just boom, boom, boom. Um, so unfortunately, I went back out. I used more. You know what I mean? And something happened, man. I ended up um, due to how I said 20 years ago, they said I had so much cocaine around my heart. It was like playing Russian roulette, but with 5 bullets, right? So here, up to the current few years back, right? I end up in the hospital again, right? Um, for heart problems, right? And so they did the dye in the blood and tried to see what was plugged and what wasn't plugged, excuse me, in my heart, right? And I remember the guy telling me this is where everything started to really change, you know? And I remember the guy there telling me, you know what? He goes, you have some really weird anatomy, right? And I said, oh, yeah. I go, why is that? He said, because all of your valves are clogged to your heart, and you have a really rare um, valve there that hardly nobody has, that's trickling blood to your heart, you know? And he goes, and that rare valve that nobody really hardly has, that's trickling blood to your heart, he said, that's what's keeping you alive right now, right? And so he said, we're gonna have to go in and we're gonna have to do triple bypass heart surgery on you. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, wow, you kidding me? You know what I mean? So that started to happen, you know what I mean? And and I ended up having a baby, you know what I'm saying? I ended up doing heart surgery, bro. During heart surgery, I didn't know that my girl was pregnant, you know what I'm saying?
Uh,
And like, I'm 42 years old, you know what I
let's
mean?
hear it. Let's
And
hear it.
I didn't have no kids, all that running around and doing all that, you know what I mean? Like, God knew that I wasn't ready to be a father, you know what I'm saying? God knew I can't put a
Exactly.
child in this, I can't put a child in this man's life right now. He ain't ready, you know what I'm saying? So look at what he did, man. Well, I'm gonna slow him down. You know what I mean? Crack me open, heart surgery. You know what I mean? After I get a heart surgery, I found out that my girl, we're having a little girl, you know what I mean? So you seen my little girl, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
oh,
Like,
she's adorable, bro. Yeah. Was
eh, eh,
was that the complete turnaround with having a girl?
um, the turnaround started. The turnaround started when my heart started messing up, kind of. That
But
was the
but she had to be a topping on the cake, right?
yeah. She just iced it all, bro, because you know what, man, and because you know what, she came into my life. I had heart surgery. They gave me a new heart. You know what I'm saying? Or they fixed my heart to where it was brand new. You know what I mean? Like, I feel they do it. They when they do a triple bypass, it's a bypass where they take everything from you know what I mean, and you're on a machine actually living. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the old me died on that table. You know what I mean? I feel like I left the old me there on that table, man, and a new me came out after the surgery because I had my little girl after 42 years. You know what I mean? I
Wow.
had my little baby, bro. Like, God blessed me with a beautiful little girl.
Well, yeah, she's
You
dope.
know,
Listen, bro.
you
God's
know,
time, bro. It's funny how he does that.
yeah, bro. And today it's like, bro, I pay my taxes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I pay probation fines. I
New
would have
man,
never
bro.
I would have never like I'd have been like, oh man, you know what I mean? I pay probation fines. I mean, I got a 40 plus hour a week job. You know what I mean? I bought me a new car. I got my little girl. I got credit cards in my wallet, money in the bank. You know what I'm saying? All that before, man, was like, I didn't have it. You know what I mean? I was out robbing and stealing and doing all the dirty stuff, man. And I'm just grateful, bro. I mean, I feel blessed every day, and I thank God every day for everything that He's done. You know what I mean, in my life. I really truly feel I feel blessed, man, because I don't feel like I'm worthy. I don't feel like I should have gotten all this. You know what I mean? I don't even feel like He saved me. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't feel like I deserved it, man. And then on top of saving me, He gave me my little girl. He gave me my job. He gave me my girl. You know what I'm saying? He gave me just abundance, and it doesn't stop, bro. Every day it's something. You know what I mean? Every day it's something, and I'm able to recognize, like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, because every day, every single day is something. I got a church that I love. You know what I mean? I mean, even with this pandemic that's going on, man, I do my church online like a lot of people are doing. You know what I mean? Yeah, everybody is doing.
Let's talk about that. Where do you go?
I go to Victory Outreach Hanford.
You know what,
Hanford
bro?
Nights.
I got a lot of love for that ministry, man. My pops ministered
Amen.
VO Church for 30 something plus years, and he still ministers today.
Amen,
And,
man.
God took me to another ministry, but that
Right.
ministry, bro, is the one that took my pops from where he was, bro, and showed him love,
Right.
compassion, and that love and compassion is coming to me, bro. And this is what I'm doing, what I'm doing, bro.
Right. Amen, bro.
Because of that ministry, bro. And
Amen.
you're at a good place, man. You're at a good
Amen.
place.
I love it. I love it, bro. That's where that's where I feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's where I feel it. They're family, man. You know what I mean?
You're at a good place, and you're with a good pastor, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank God, bro. Amen.
He's learned from a good pastor, bro, and that pastor's learned from a good pastor. So
Yeah.
I know
Oh,
I
yeah.
know him. So you're in a good place, man. You are blessed, bro.
Yeah, and I'm blessed, bro. Yes, sir.
Man. Like I always ask my guests, how would you encourage somebody, bro, from your story to now? What words would you give them for hope and for inspiration to kick or to live for God?
Oh, man. It took me what it took me, you know what I'm saying? And I still have friends or my girl's got family members that are still out there, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you can pray for them, you know what I mean? That's what my church, she teaches us to do more than anything is pray. You know what I mean? And so you can pray for them, but they're really not gonna do anything until it's their time, you know what I mean? But I would lead them to Jesus, you know what I mean? It's like yesterday I was at work and I seen a buddy of mine, man. He was at the store and he was all dirty, man. All dirty, right? And so I got his number and stuff, and I felt kind of bad for him. So I went to work, and he ended up messaging me, right? And he's like, "Hey, man, can you help me out?" Right? So I'm praying about it at work as I'm working, you know what I mean? And that's the thing too, is like I pray about stuff before I do it, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so I'm praying about it, you know what I mean? And like put it on my heart, right? After work, I'm on, yeah, I'll help you out, man, but I'm also gonna give you a little word, some good word, you know what I mean? So I told him, he's like, man, you look good, bro. And I'm like, brother, I'm saved, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'll help you out right here, man. But you know what I mean? I'm saved, bro, and it's a good thing. I just had to let him know the good word, you know what I mean? So that's the main thing, man, is that's what I like to do, is share the good word and let people know, like, God, he did it with me. You know what I'm saying? Did it with me, and I was down.
With anybody, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro, I appreciate
Yes.
your
Thank you.
time, your message, man. And
Yeah. Thank you, bro.
Oh, bro, like once I heard this, I knew it took. I know it took a while to get to it. It probably took some courage, you know.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
but no. Like people ask me, why? Some people have like I'm gonna be real, you know. If they listen, they choose to listen or not, whatever. But a lot of people, they chose to they doubted me, bro. Like, you say you're gonna do this, you can do that, bro. Now that I got this going, bro, they can see that I'm serious, bro. Just like you're serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm doing this to not to gain any fame or fortune, bro.
Right.
I'm doing this so people like you, people like me, have a voice to share.
Exactly.
You know, I'm not looking for thousands of subscribers. I'm looking for thousands of listeners. I'm looking for that one person.
That one.
That one person that's gonna stumble upon this. That's gonna
Amen.
hey, listen to my boy. Listen to this story. That one
Right.
person, bro. That was my life, bro.
Amen, bro. Amen.
Satisfied with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but bro, I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro.
You know,
Thank you.
the
Yeah.
world and your story, bro, and you got a beautiful family, man. Keep
Thank you, bro.
it going, bro. Keep strong, man. And hey, you know, you got my number, so you know me, bro.
All right. All right. God
Whatever
bless
you
you,
need, hit
brother.
me up, man.
All right. All right.
All right,
Thank you.
You have a
God
good
bless
night
you.
and God bless.
All right. You too, brother.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.